Nobody saw him coming. While Portugal was busy celebrating Cristiano Ronaldo, building statues and writing headlines about their greatest ever player, a quiet, determined boy from the city of Maia was taking a path that nobody would have predicted. Not through the glamour academies of Lisbon or Porto, not through a famous club that would fast-track him to Europe's elite. He went to Italy at 17, alone and homesick, and began the long, difficult, unglamorous road that would eventually lead him to the captaincy of one of the biggest clubs in football history. Bruno Miguel Borges Fernandes was born on September 8, 1994, in Maia, in the metropolitan area of Porto, Portugal. He grew up in a city famous for ice hockey, not football, but from childhood he lived for the game. He played street football with his older brother Ricardo, who also became a professional player. His father had emigrated to Switzerland and wanted Bruno to join him, but Bruno refused. He had seen the level of Swiss football and knew it was not where he needed to be. He stayed in Portugal. He chose the harder road. He came up through the youth ranks at local club Infesta before joining Boavista, one of Porto's two professional clubs. He was originally a center-back. At 15, after a loan spell at Pastelera, the coaches moved him forward into an attacking midfield role, and everything changed. He was offered a place at Porto's academy. He turned it down. He chose Boavista instead because they offered his parents a lift to training, and family came first. In August 2012, at 17 years old, Bruno Fernandes moved to Novara in Serie B in Italy. The Italian lower leagues were not glamorous. He struggled with homesickness. But he did not give up. He learnt Italian. He applied himself on and off the pitch. He moved up to Udinese in Serie A in 2013, where he spent 3 seasons and scored 11 goals in 95 appearances, solid numbers, for a midfielder developing his game in one of Europe's toughest leagues. Then Sampdoria came in for him in 2016, and his performances there convinced everyone that he was ready for the next level. In 2017, after 5 years in Italy, Bruno Fernandes came home. He signed for Sporting CP in Lisbon, and the football world finally began to pay attention. He was transformed in the Portuguese league. No longer a deep midfielder, he was now the heartbeat of Sporting's attack, a player who scored and assisted in volumes that shocked even his admirers. In the 2018 to 2019 season, he scored 33 goals in all competitions, breaking the record for the highest-scoring Portuguese midfielder in a single season and the highest-scoring midfielder in Europe that year. He was named Primeira Liga Player of the Year in both 2018 and 2019. He won the Taça de Portugal. He won back-to-back League Cups. By this point, the biggest clubs in Europe were watching. The question was not whether he would leave. The question was where. On January 29, 2020, Manchester United announced they had reached an agreement with Sporting CP to sign Bruno Fernandes for a fee that could reach €80 million. He arrived at Old Trafford mid-season. United were struggling, the fans were frustrated, and the atmosphere around the club was one of anxiety and disappointment. Within weeks, everything changed. Bruno Fernandes played half a season and still won the Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year award. He scored and assisted at a rate that United had not seen from a midfielder in years. The following season, 2020 to 2021, he scored 28 goals, breaking the record for the most goals scored by a midfielder in a single Premier League season. United finished second in the league and reached the Europa League final. He won every individual award available to him. He was not flashy in the way the great entertainers are flashy. He was something different. He was relentless. He pressed, he tackled, he covered ground, he screamed at teammates, he led by pure force of will. He took penalties under the heaviest pressure. He scored free kicks. He found passes that other players simply did not see. For a team that had been searching for an identity since the retirement of Alex Ferguson, Bruno Fernandes became the identity. He won the FA Cup with United in 2024 and the EFL Cup in 2023. He became the club captain. With Portugal, he was part of the squad that won the UEFA Nations League in 2019 and again in 2025. He has played in 3 World Cups and multiple European championships. He is the kind of player that makes everyone around him better, that rarest of qualities in football. The boy who grew up choosing Boavista over Porto, who turned down a move to Switzerland, who spent 5 years in the Italian lower leagues before anyone outside Portugal knew his name, that boy is now the captain of Manchester United, one of the most recognized footballers in the world, and the heartbeat of the Portuguese national team. He is proof that the road to greatness does not always run in a straight line. Sometimes it runs through Novara. Sometimes it runs through homesickness and patience, and refusing to quit when quitting would have been the easiest thing in the world. Bruno Fernandes chose the harder road every single time. And every time, it took him exactly where he needed to be. Like this video if Bruno Fernandes is the best midfielder in the Premier League right now. Subscribe to Football Rush HQ for more stories like this. And drop your answer in the comments. Is Bruno Fernandes Portugal's most important player after Ronaldo?